Hi there. I hope you can see me okay. The light's not so great. I had just posted now in a group responding to a mom who was asking a question. Um, she was asking a question about natural disasters. And she was concerned about what the protocol is, but it seemed like in her question she was actually um, felt really scared. Like, I'm scared that not going to know what to do, and that I'm not in control of the situation, and we don't know when natural disasters are going to occur, and we don't know, if the government is prepared, et cetera, et cetera. And so I responded, acknowledging her question and commending her for seeking guidance, like practical advice. But I also wanted to point out, as I'm going to point out now, that it's important that we pay attention to our experience, particularly our anxiety. So often as parents, as moms and dads, as adults, we don't pay much attention to our inner experiences, and we don't pay attention to anxiety when it starts to get uncomfortable. We tell ourselves that somehow it's a failure. We tell ourselves that it's normal. We don't tell ourselves anything. We're just used to it, so we just toughen up and soldier on. But I want to talk about what it might look like if you're feeling anxious, especially as a parent. So what I mentioned in this comment, hi there, go ahead and say hi if you pop on. What I mentioned in this comment was that if you find yourself feeling really scared, like if you are scared to send your children to school, even if you do it anyways, but you notice that it's really uncomfortable, if you find yourself feeling very irritable and snappy and impatient, and you find it hard to focus on things, if you find yourself distracted by thoughts of fear, if you notice that the thoughts sort of occupy your mind and they come up for you again and again, and you're thinking about it a lot, if you notice any physical reactions to those thoughts, that maybe your heart starts to race, you feel fidgety, you need to move around the house, maybe you even experience some panic where your heart starts to race, your palms get sweaty, you feel warm, almost like you're getting ready to run a race. If you find yourself losing sleep, that you can't fall asleep easily, or that you wake up in the night and then you find it hard to get back to bed, these are symptoms that are important to pay attention to and not to suffer through. Not to suffer through and to power through. Why? Because they suck. They suck. They're not comfortable. They're unpleasant. They also get in the way of you living a full life of joy and happiness and peace and well-being. They also impact your children. And that's really important here. Motherhood in the making. This isn't just about me. It's also about how I influence my kids and how my state of mind is going to impact my children's experience of me, of themselves, of the world. If I don't feel safe in the world, my children will not feel safe in the world. If I don't feel like I'm capable and everything's going to be okay and I can handle it, my kids aren't going to feel like they can handle it. And not just because of the implicit communication that happens between people. Like if you have a friend who calls you up, or even you pass somebody, in the street that you might know, and you have a sense that something's not well with them, or you have a sense that something is really great in their lives. There's like an implicit communication. They didn't have to say anything verbally. You have a sense of what's going on. So our kids can sense what's going on for us, and they are in fact wired, for the sake of survival, to be in tune with what's going on for us. They turn to us to get a sense of their safety. And if I don't feel safe, then it's important that I reclaim my sense of safety so that I can feel good, I can feel happy and content and calm and present and patient, and imbue in my children a sense of security and control, even when we're not in control. So if you experience any of these symptoms, any of these signs, any of these experiences, if you feel off, and if you're not even sure, you're not really sure, it's worth paying attention to yourself, sort of track it, notice. I also want to acknowledge that it's okay. It's not a sign of failure. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually just a sign that you're human. This is a human experience. We're wired to experience anxiety because it keeps us safe. It's just that sometimes our brains misinterpret cues from the environment, our external environment and our internal environment, the stuff that goes on in our minds, sometimes unconsciously. And our brain says you're not safe, when really you are. But it's hard to see that. It's hard to see that I'm really safe because my brain is telling me otherwise. So pay attention and see what life is like for you. If you find yourself uncomfortable in your skin, if you find yourself experiencing panic attacks, if you find yourself losing sleep, if you find yourself with low appetite, if you find yourself feeling very irritable, and if you simply just feel scared and uneasy and occupied with thoughts of fear, then that's okay. Good for you for noticing it, and reach out. You can comment below, you can PM me, or tell a friend, or tell another mental health worker. You don't have to suffer with this. And like I said in the comment to the woman who I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the only thing that's worse than suffering from anxiety is suffering alone, is suffering through it alone. So you don't have to. You really don't. And it is, it's amazing when you discover that you don't have to. And moving from a place of fear to a place of calm and peace and control is incredible. It's incredible, it's life-changing, and it's worth it. It's worth the risk. So those are my thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all later. Bye for now.